Hi everybody, welcome to Make Your Own Gift for Someone Special. We're using felt today and some other materials that will help you to make cute little gifts for someone that you care about. So today I'm going to show you how you can make bookmarks. This is canvas. I got this from the dollar store. They were 2 for $1 and you could get them in all different sizes. We use felt and ribbon to decorate this one. This is felt also. And we used ribbon and felt to make those. You also will have beads and pearls and buttons that you can use to embellish your flowers, your designs. You have ribbon that was in your kit. I used green so that we can use those for the stems. You have thread and a needle, that's also in your kit. And we're gonna use tacky glue. Tacky glue will glue fabric to fabric and fabric to canvas. So this will be your best friend. This is gonna help you to make things a little bit easier rather than having to sew every little bit. It'll save you some extra steps. So today, what I'm gonna start with is making this canvas, and this is gonna be an example of what we're gonna make. So I cut out a mason jar out of felt, okay? And I'm gonna align mine. Now, if you wanted to, you could do it this way and have flowers coming out. But I think since it's tall, I'm gonna put it right here. And now I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna use for my stems. Now, you can do one of a couple of things. I did give you in your kit felt, and if you wanted to cut stems, then all you have to, oh, and you need a pair of scissors. You can cut stems yourself. And they don't have to be perfect because if you look at nature, you look at stems, they're never exactly the same. So you could cut your own. You want to make sure that they're a little bit longer so they tuck under, and then you can put the flower right on top. You can always trim that later, okay? And this is so you can use these if you'd like something like that. Oops. Or you can use ribbon. And with the ribbon, I kind of like the ribbon myself because I think it's cute to have something that's a little bit different and adds a little bit more color and texture. So I cut out one of the polka dotted ones for my first stem. And I always start with the first stem in the middle. You don't have to, but you can put one of the bigger flowers in the middle if you'd like. And then you can cut your green ribbon to fit also. So I cut this one already, and I'm placing that maybe like that, okay? And then I'm going to cut this one. And remember, I'm always going a little bit underneath my jar. And with my scissor, I think I'm gonna snip that right there. And now is when I'm going to start putting my things together, okay? So I'm gonna start with my glue, and I'm going to put some of the tacky glue, and you have to kind of shake it for a while. Don't do the top because you want to make sure that you're getting the stems under there, okay? So just go along the edge, just a little. You don't need a ton. That's even enough, okay? And you're going to align it, make sure you center it, and put it down like that, okay? Press down. And now I'm going to start gluing down my stems. I'm going to start with the middle one. Turn it over, and don't glue on here. Try to glue on another area so that if it spills, you don't have it getting all messy. Okay. Carefully then, and if it gets on you, this is water soluble. All you have to do is wash your hands, and it comes right off. Okay. There's one, and the same thing with this. Just gonna add a little bit of glue. This is one way of doing it. I'll show you the other way of doing it. This is me putting the glue on the ribbon. You can also make a line and put the glue on the canvas first. Okay, there's 2. Okay, and I could do that for the last one. So I can decide where I want it, and then I make the line with the glue, and then I just place my ribbon on top of it. Oops, that's not the right one. That was my extra. Okay, and then I always make sure that I tuck it underneath my jar. And now I'm gonna add that last little bit of glue right at the top of the jar to make sure that it doesn't come undone, okay? All right, so now it's all down, and it's going to take a little bit to dry. and it dries clear, okay? So now you have to decide which flowers you'd like to make. And I did give you guys a variety of flowers, all felt flowers, and we're going to sew on one of the centers. So what you usually will try to do is start with the larger one, okay, and figure out where you want that one. And it's okay if it goes off the edge, why not? It doesn't have to be perfect and sit in a certain area on the canvas. It can go off the edge. And then you want something a little smaller on top of it. And then I usually look for a center. So that one, I like that combination. So you can use whichever ones you like. I gave you guys a bunch of different ones to choose from. And so this is another one that I put together, okay? And then this was the third one. And actually, I kind of don't like this so long, and it didn't stick yet, so I'm actually gonna make that one shorter. I'm just gonna snip that. And as long as it's not glued down yet, you can definitely move them around, okay? And I think I might do the same thing with that one. That was a little long for me. And as long as it's not quite glued down, I'm gonna get it out of my way. Okay? So those are gonna be my 3, okay? You can also, at this time, try to add a couple of, so I would lay it all out and then you're going to assemble it, okay? So you can use your ribbon to make leaves if you want, or you can use some of the leaves that I did give you. Okay, the leaves, unfortunately, were giving me quite a bit of a hard time. So I realized that you can, very easy to make a leaf. You can either take, and all I did for this one down here is I kind of made it look a little bit more random, but it looks so cute with the polka dot on there. You can also take your felt and cut out shapes that look like leaves. So I make a scoop one way, I make a scoop the other way, and then I have a leaf, okay? So it kind of is pretty easy. That's one of the easier shapes to make are leaves. So I did give you extra felt so that you can do that, okay? So once you're happy with your design, and let's just say that I'm gonna put that one there, I would put down you can put down any other green if you'd like, because usually the leaves are sometimes underneath the flowers. So I'm just gonna put a little glue on some of those. I keep thinking I have the cap on this. Oh, I did. I did, Mrs. Boschnack. Okay, there we go. Okay, and you continue like that, and you could just put whichever ones you want in there. Here, I put extra flowers in afterwards. You can add a butterfly if you'd like. You know, you could put a butterfly up there if you like. If you want to add a bird somewhere, you can. You can have him like perched on top there. You don't have to. And I think on my mason jar, I think I'm gonna put one of those cute little birds, okay? If you'd rather put a heart there, you can. I did give everybody hearts. If you'd rather put a heart there, if you'd rather put a flower there, whatever you want, and I would glue those down, okay? So let me show you how you would then put a button on, okay? So this is one of my flowers, okay? And what I did was I took my thread, I'm gonna get my needle. I took my thread and I threaded my needle, okay? And this color is matching my table, so it's a little harder, but you're going to make sure that the two ends are together. So they're not quite there. Let me just get them even so that they are together. And if I do it over this color, I think you could see it a little better. Okay, see there, you can see it better, okay? So you want them together. And now what you're going to do is make a knot. If you took my other sewing programs, you'll know the way I do it is I grab the eye with my thumb and middle finger, like that. This finger is gonna get ready to do the knot. I put the thread right behind. I leave a little tiny tail, because exactly there is where my knot's gonna go. I pull it towards me, 1, 2, 3. I grab all that, push my needle up, wiggle, wiggle, and I end up with a knot at the end, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do then, and I'll just take a different one so that I can show you how I got to that point. I'm going to take this one here, and one way that you can sew them together is you go through the back, okay, and come up. And if you wanna put a bead on here, then you would now attach the bead. And I gave you pearls and buttons, but if you have a bead that you like better, that's absolutely fine too. Then you're gonna go down through the 3 layers. Oops. And sometimes it's a little stiffer because it's 3 pieces of fabric. So you have to just kind of wiggle it a little bit until it gets, and if it gets caught on your petals, like mine just did, what do? You just untangle it, okay? Okay. And then, oops, this just wants to not behave. Okay, there we go. And now I pull my thread. Okay, that's better. I straighten out my pearl. There you go. Okay, and now that's in the back, okay? And now I go through one more time. I go up through the middle from one side of the bead. Okay, here's the hole. I go through the hole to the other side. And again, be careful not to catch those petals. This is a very long petaled flower, okay? And now I go back down in the middle there. Down through both. And I'll end up with my pearl right in the middle. Looks really cute like that, doesn't it? You do the same thing with buttons. You just go from one to the other of the holes. And in the back, let me show you quickly how you make a knot. You grab a little bit of the threads that are back there and you go under, or a little bit of the fabric, either one, like that. When you pull, you're going to see a circle form. Oh, this is really tangling me today. I shouldn't have gotten one so loopy. Alrighty, and then you go through the circle, and when you pull, it's gonna make a nice knot. Then all you have to do is snip. And now you can glue that one in place, okay? So once I make one of the flowers, then I can glue it in place. So I just put a little bit of glue right in the middle, and I put that where I want it, okay? And that's what you can do if you wanted to add the bead. If you don't want to add the bead, all you have to do is, or if you want to add a button, it's very similar also. Okay, so I went through my 3 pieces. You could see my knots at that end, and my 3 pieces, I have the thread coming through. If I wanted to do it with a button, then I would take the button, go up through one, down through the other, okay? And then I would do the same thing as I did with the pearl. I would make sure that it is secure by going through it at least 2 times. But if you don't want to add these beads, then all you have to do is go and I make like a little X. So I'm going to go down, and this one's going to be a little bit better, I think, because it doesn't have all those extra petals. Okay, so there's you can see the little line there. And then you can either just stay and go into the same hole that you started with the first time. You see I'm right over there next to it. Oops. And now anytime it wants to pull, okay, and then I'm going to go down into the same one, and I'm going to show you how to make that knot again. Okay, so now on the back, you take your needle, go underneath any of these little threads, not too much, make sure you're not going all the way through, okay? And then as you see the circle form, see that circle, go under the circle and pull. And I usually will do that twice to make sure that it's knotted, okay? And again, take my scissor, clip it, and then I can attach it with a little bit of the tacky glue, okay? After you've decided how you wanted to decorate, you're going to then take your glue and then glue everything in place that you like, okay? So this is another example of one. And then I did the same thing with felt hearts. You can do a very similar thing there. Here, this is the way this started. I took ribbon and I just placed it underneath, and then I placed the flowers up on top of it, okay? And then I glued them down. Here's one that just has the flower. Here's one that has leaves and then the flowers. This is using the regular bookmark. Remember, if you're making bookmarks, you don't want to put beads on these because you can't put beads inside of a book. You want it to be flat. And then this one's my favorite. I took my 2 little birds. I put them in the middle. I added the butterfly. That's only a strip of the fabric, the felt, like the ones that I gave you. And then I just put flowers at either side, and I added a little butterfly, okay? So you can get very creative with this. Just be careful. Remember, you're using needles. Make sure that you never leave needles around. Make sure that you're putting them back in a nice, safe place, as I'm doing right now with my extra needle. But I hope you enjoyed this program, and I hope you make something fun for someone you care about. So have a great day. Enjoy your sewing, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. Bye.